Bienvenidos! Welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today we're making a classic Spanish dish that packs some serious goodness. We're talking Spanish cod with potatoes and peas. This dish is filled with beautiful flavors. It's very easy to make, and it's all done using just one pan, folks. This is what Spanish food is all about, and one of those dishes, like I've told you in past videos, when you take that first bite, it's going to give you an instant trip to beautiful España. Really quick before we begin, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Karen Bird and James Matthew Nealon. Once again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. All right, let's begin by grabbing a large fry pan, heating it with a medium heat, and adding in a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, which is 60 milliliters. While the olive oil is heating, let's get the cod ready. I've got a piece of cod here. This is 14 ounces, which is 400 grams. I'm gonna pat it completely dry with paper towels. Now the cod that I'm using, I bought frozen and thawed out, but you can also use fresh cod here, as well as any white fleshed fish. Either way, make sure you pat it completely dry to remove any of the excess liquid in the fish. That way later on when we cook it, it's full of flavor. Then we'll cut it into 4 evenly sized pieces and season them with sea salt and black pepper just on one side. Then I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour into a shower bowl, which is 30 grams, along with 1/2 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 1.15 grams. And mix it together, that way everything's well mixed. And then we'll coat each piece of cod in the flour mixture, making sure it's evenly coated all around. Once all the pieces of cod have been coated, I'm going to add them into the pan with the olive oil. And we're going to cook our pieces of cod for 2.5 minutes per side. Now the thickness of these fillets are 1/2 inch thick, which is a little over 1 1/4 centimeters. If your pieces of cod are a little thinner, cook them for a little bit less, and if they're a little bit thicker, cook them a little bit longer. In the meantime, I'm going to thinly slice 1 onion, thinly slice 6 cloves of garlic, and cut 2 medium-sized potatoes that have been peeled, washed, and patted dry into small pieces that are 1/2 inch thick, which is 1 1/4 centimeters. After cooking our cod fillets for 5 minutes, that's 2.5 minutes per side, they should be perfectly cooked. At this point, I'm going to remove them from the pan, and I'm going to set them aside and cover it with some foil paper, that way they stay nice and warm. Now using the same pan with the same heat, I'm going to add in the sliced onion and the sliced garlic. And start mixing the garlic and onion around with the olive oil. As you know, I always like to mix this continuously, that way nothing browns too quickly and everything evenly sautés. After about 5 minutes and everything's lightly sautéed, I'm going to add in the pieces of potato, along with 1/2 cup of white wine, which is 120 milliliters. And we'll season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll turn up the heat from a medium heat to a medium-high heat. And we'll give this a quick mix and simmer it for a couple minutes. After about 3 minutes and the alcohol has burned off in the white wine, I'm going to add in some vegetable broth into the pan, just enough to barely cover the potatoes, which is 2.5 cups in my case, or 600 milliliters. The broth that I'm using is homemade. You'll find a link on how to make it in the iCard above and description box below. And we'll give this a quick mix and continue to cook it on a medium-high heat between 20 to 25 minutes. After about 16 to 18 minutes, and you can see a lot of that broth has been absorbed by the potatoes, but there's still plenty of broth left, I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of frozen peas, which is 70 grams. And we'll mix the peas around, that way they're evenly distributed throughout the pan. after a total cooking time of 22 to 23 minutes, and as you can see, there's very little broth left in the pan. Those potatoes should be perfectly cooked. You know, you can always pierce them with a toothpick, and if it easily goes in, they are ready to go. I'm gonna lower the fire from a medium-high heat to a low-medium heat, and add the fillets of cod back into the pan. And we're going to simmer this on a low-medium heat, just between 1 to 2 minutes. That way those cod fillets can heat through. Then we'll remove the pan from the heat, and we'll sprinkle it with some finely chopped parsley. Our one-pan Spanish cod with potatoes and peas is done. Such a beautiful presentation, very easy to make. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. All right, folks, here we go. That is so good. There's so many great flavors between the cod, potatoes, peas, and the rest of the ingredients. But most importantly, everything is perfectly cooked where it kept its shape, but it just melts in your mouth. You saw this. Very easy to make, simple ingredients, all done using just one pan. This is what classic Spanish food is all about. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.